Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. I have a true treat. I have a friend of mine that he actually got me my first deal, a wholesale deal. God, what was that, 3 or 4 years ago? Mr.
Yeah,
Chris Williams. How you doing, buddy?
good, good. How are you? Yeah, it was 4 years ago. I just randomly remember what was that Little Nevada? I think
Yeah,
you
little.
nicknamed it.
I call it Little Nevada because I owned a bigger Nevada like
Yeah,
6 months
yeah,
later. So yeah,
yeah, yeah. I remember you. What was it? I think we shared on this show maybe 3 years ago or so. I was
yeah,
literally in the hospital
yes,
with my daughter being born,
yeah. You're
and
like, I don't have time. I need to help. You made a little money. I made a
yeah,
little money. Yeah, it was a good deal. But
exactly. It was great. It was a great deal. Turned out.
yeah,
I think it turned out really well for both of us.
oh, absolutely. It was my entry to flipping houses, my first flip, Little Nevada. So
Oh,
I
that's great.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
But what I want to do here, though, is I want people to realize you are a member of the Hub, which is
Yeah.
a building I have in Fresno full of real estate investors. B, you are a licensed real estate agent. So a lot of people at the Hub aren't licensed.
Yeah.
You are licensed.
Yep.
And why that is important is I have a lot of followers. I would,
Mhm.
I don't know, 20% of the people that probably follow me are interested in following me into Fresno, but they don't
Nice.
know who to work with. They don't know the market. They might even be out of state. So the
Yeah.
reason I wanted to talk to you is because you are a member of the Hub. We've been friends for a long time. You're doing great work there, but you are licensed,
Yes.
which
Yeah.
means you can represent buyers and sellers and you pull listings and all this. We will look
Yeah.
at Fresno stats in a minute, but let's just hit it up right now. How do you want people to reach out that are interested buying and investing in Fresno? How do you want them to reach out to you?
Sure. Yeah, I can give both my cell phone and my email address. I'm totally fine with that.
Let's do it.
You can reach me at 559-593-2987. And my email address is Chris, that's CHRIS at iBuyHousesFresno.com. Now, I will disclose, being an agent, being, that my information is out there in the public, I probably get, 20 spam calls a day. So,
Yeah.
so if you call and don't leave a message, just go ahead and shoot me a text. I'm completely fine with that. And then I'll return a call because there are, a lot of calls get declined just simply for the fact that I get
Yeah.
spammed, all the time, all day,
I,
every day. So
I actually no longer pick up calls that I don't recognize.
yeah, I'm pretty much in the same boat.
Yeah. So do me a favor, folks. He gave you the number. Text him your name and say you came from one rental at a time, or if you want to abbreviate it, say ORAAT,
Yeah.
one rental. And Chris will call you back relatively quickly.
Yep.
So a couple of things I want to talk about you in Fresno, right? You've been in the game a long time. You've been on my channel quite a bit. You have an
Yeah, a
amazing
few times.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know Fresno, right? So you'll be
Yeah, I
able to
do.
have a conversation about areas, right? People read my book, they watch my channel, they hear about my first buy box, the Mayfair district. You know where
Yeah.
that is,
Oh yeah, love it.
right? We talk about the tower, we talk about Old Fig, we talk about Clovis. There's just
Yep.
Fresno has pockets, and if you're not in the know,
Hmm.
it's tough, right? Because you can't compare Old Fig with Lowell district. I mean, it's just
Correct.
apples and watermelons or
Yeah,
whatever.
and you have to know the difference of streets and blocks because there are certain neighborhoods that you would think are in Old Fig, but they're not. They're just right up against it. I mean, and you could be, I know, I flipped houses in certain neighborhoods where, well, this was a few years ago where values were different.
Yeah,
I sold a flip. I think I sold it for 225 or something like that. And literally across the street, you're talking $600,000 homes,
yeah,
right? So if you're looking in that little pocket, being like, wow, they're selling this house in the mid twos, but right across the street is,
yeah,
six, 700s. You could think you're getting a good deal when in reality you're buying
yeah.
at the top of that neighborhood. Yeah.
Peak,
So
peak,
it is
peak.
very, very important that
Yeah.
the ins and outs of a city. You don't have to necessarily be an expert. You
No,
just have to know the difference of, when you cross the street, you're getting into a different micro market in a sense.
and this is why I'm bringing Chris to the channel, because so many of you have commented and reached out to me about wanting to invest in Fresno. I'm like, okay, fine. I got to get the guy that I've known for a while. He's a member of
Yeah.
the Hub. You can actually meet Chris at the Hub. He's filming this from the Hub. I see the little
Yeah, I'm
colored
here.
walls
Yep, that's
in the
it.
background. It's just so fun to see this kind of grow. So why don't you go to bring us some stats? Because I want to talk about the Fresno market. It is changing,
Sure. Yeah.
but slowly.
Yeah. And if I could mention too,
Sure.
yeah, I am a real estate agent. I am a real estate investor. I
Mhm.
wholesale, I fix and flip. I own several investment properties right now. And I'm also a licensed loan officer. I
Oh,
don't do a whole lot on the loan side, but, I do some here and there. So I guess from the agent perspective, I do look at every opportunity through those lenses to really determine, is this a good deal or not, right? Like, I'm not just saying, hey, let me earn a commission. I'm looking at this from the eyes of an actual investor.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I think the market we're heading into, and if you watch my channel, folks, I say this a lot, but let's do it again. The market that's coming is very investor friendly. Interest rates going up are hurting buyer demand, first-time home buyers, but investors, we can fish for the motivated sellers. And the reason I want you to work with a guy like Chris is I'm telling everybody about this 50-40-10 program, right? 50% first, 40% seller second, 10% down. It's an amazing loan program. You are a guy that talks to sellers and owners all the time.
Yeah.
My sellers, my buyers, my investors might be out of state. They've never done this. They find a deal. You work with a seller who's got a bunch of equity. You can actually lead that conversation because A, you understand it, and B, you can kind of bounce around with the seller. You won't have to play ping pong. A lot of real estate agents are open houses. That's what they do. They're not investors. They don't think like investors. They don't think like buy and hold. So if you've been on my channel for the last 2 weeks, I've been hyping up the 50-40-10. It's just something I'm really excited about. But you need an agent that works with you. And Chris is the kind of guy that will do that. So another reason why I had you have on this channel. I'm really pushing this 50-40-10 because I think the market's coming to us and it's going to be pretty amazing.
Yeah, totally.
So let's look at active stats and listings today.
Okay. Did that come up?
It is. Yep, it is up.
Okay. Yeah. So this is data directly from the Fresno MLS. And let me look at this because you've probably seen this. I haven't seen this a lot. So basically what this is saying is the dark green are sold, the light green are active, and the red line is pending. That's what we're looking at, right? Correct. Yep.
That's amazing. So I actually have a chart from 2018 where active listings were 2,800.
Wow.
And what are we today? Like 996?
Yeah. Yeah, we are 996. Wow. Yeah, I remember at the time when it was like 3 to 4, even 5,000 properties on the market was normal. And that was probably what, like 3.5 months worth of inventory or so. I would assume, which is still actually relatively low.
Yeah, it's been a long time since Fresno was at 5 months supply. I think the last time I remember being at 5 months supply was 2010.
Yeah,
2010. So this is again what I kind of take from this is inventory to me is increasing, although not as fast as people want. Fresno is, if you don't know, Fresno is very hot in the summer. That's why you can see back in August of 2021, you have a peak. It's because a lot of people head out of town.
Yeah.
So we are heading into the season where you would naturally get more listings. I always like to try to make predictions. It would not shock me, Chris, if by August 2022 we are at 1,500 or 1,600 active listings.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, and this is pretty normal, right? The inventory builds up into the summer.
Yeah.
Right at the end of August, what happens? Back to school.
Yep.
Multiple holidays, I don't even know why, and Halloween, like people just stop everything.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
We have the Fresno County, the fair comes in October. So this is a typical drop, and here you see a typical increase as well. I mean, but we had the same thing last year as well.
Yeah,
coming into the spring.
Yeah, this trend line you see in the red line and all of that's kind of normal. My expectations this time next year is all these charts are 50 to 60% higher. I think so. Active listings go up. It's funny. I think active listings go up. I think solds might be flat, which means there's a bigger gap in days on market's going to increase. Because I think the market's slowing down. I think it has to slow down, right? Yeah. Rates are at 6%. So what do we got? Let's just look at all these charts. What do we got for average?
Sure. Or what average price per square foot? Yeah, we're actually increasing. We're at an average price per square foot at $249. I mean, and obviously this is just a month. I mean, we haven't really been into the market that much with the increased interest rates, right? So maybe in 2 or 3 months, we're really going to see where this is going to go. If prices are really still increasing, if they're flatline, maybe they're going to come down a little bit.
This is interesting because I actually see this across the country, right? I have followers and students around the country. And what they're telling me is the low end, the affordable homes are not selling because there's no inventory. So when you sell the big homes, the $1 million homes in Fresno, it really distorts this number. So we actually may have kind of an inventory mix challenge, which might be interesting. So I don't know what you're seeing in Fresno, but that's something to watch going forward.
Yeah, I personally think anywhere from the low to the high 300s are still going to be hot for a while.
No,
Because
yeah, absolutely.
even
Sub 300, smoking
yeah,
hot.
because even with the interest rates where they're at, excuse me, it's still relatively affordable compared to where rents are.
Yeah, no, I would again, Fresno median today is what, like 430, something like that.
Yeah, something. Yeah, low fours
About
right
that.
now.
Yeah. So again, yeah, you go sub threes, it's white hot across the country. So very cool.
Yep.
All right, what do we got for days on
We
market?
got days on market. We're about 102.
Continuous days on market is 16.
Is that what that says right there?
Yeah, 16, 16.
Okay.
Yeah. So the
Oh,
one
I see. So this
that
is the
is
price original list
yeah.
price.
So we're basically selling over list.
Yeah, 102%, right? So just 2% over the list price is our average sale.
Yeah. So
sale
if it's
price
listed
is-
at 300, it goes for 306, for example.
Yeah, so 16 days on market. So days on market have
it's
dropped.
going down.
Yeah. You know, I mean, what you could have is because interest rates are rising and they're probably set to rise again. You might have buyers who are scrambling right now to buy.
Yeah, I think that's
And-
what we're seeing in these stacks. I would not expect this to go lower in May. Where obviously in May these are reported in the rearview mirror. This is absolutely the champagne cork, right? Rates. I mean, you saw the numbers today. The pending home sales were down, and that was based on contracts signed in February. Rates are up 100 basis points since then. So
True.
yeah. So it's kind of interesting. But yeah, 16 days on market. Wow. Or 6. Yeah, 1-6. Wow.
Yeah, 16. Yeah, in April. Average price.
Oh, there we
Here
go.
we go. The
Yes.
sold and for sale. So
450.
yeah.
Wow. So this again is this is the inventory mix that I was just telling you
Yep.
about that I think is
Totally.
happening. Is the low end. So again, first time again, what am I telling you folks on my channel? The move up market is dead because the first time home buyer is not selling. So when you don't sell, you don't have that inventory. And what that means is all the high end stuff, all the new builds that are in the MLS, all the $1 million homes, which in Fresno is 2x the median, are distorting for sale versus sold. That's what's happening right here.
Yeah. And I'm kind of curious. I wouldn't say anxious, but I'm very curious about a property that I have right now. That is kind of on the high end, but not $1 million home. I mean, it will be about 680, maybe a little bit. Hopefully, God willing, a little bit higher than that. But yeah, I'm really curious to see what that's going to do once the project is done.
One of the things I'm telling folks is if you're getting into $1 million, like again, this is Fresno numbers, right? If you're in the Bay Area, these numbers don't make sense. But Fresno's median, as you see here, is 450, or that's the average. It's technically not the median; it's the average. You know, if you're trying to exit a flip at like $2 million, that's pretty risky today.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think I would be doing that.
And you know, surprisingly, even as a loan officer, you know, I see over the last year or two, there's been a decent discrepancy in interest rates between, you know, regular conventional and FHA compared to like a jumbo loan.
Yeah, jumbo. Yeah.
But I have not, you know, just based on the emails that I've been getting from our lenders that we work with, I have not seen a huge jump in interest rates on our jumbo loans. So,
yeah,
you know, our high end buyers, $1 million plus, might not really go away because there's not that big of a payment difference than a few months ago.
That is amazing. Yeah, lenders I talked to, the jumbo products the rates are coming down because they're not government backed, right? They're a separate entities, right? So it's pretty cool. How about months of inventory? What do we got there?
Here we go. This is great. Yeah, we're at 1 month right now.
And again, folks, 2018, I've had the discussion. I've shown you it was 3.3 months of supply in 18. Again, 2018, 2,700 active listings. We're at 1,100 today. 3.3. We're at 1 month. This is all unraveling really fast. And again, 1 month of supply is nothing.
Yeah.
It's wow. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, and you can see, you can compare it to exactly a year ago, right? We were at 0.7, but I mean, look at this. It's, you know, your typical mountain range, your roller coaster up and down. So, you know, we've had highs and lows here for the last year and a half.
Yeah. We're heading into what is Fresno's, I don't know if I want to call it most, I don't know, weakest or active, right? Naturally speaking, August is the peak usually, as we've just highlighted earlier. So we're heading into that. I think it's going to be a really slow time for traditional real estate agents, but it's going to be good time for real estate investor agents, which is why I have you on the channel. Can
Yeah.
you scroll down just a second? I want to see what's below in today's stats.
So today there is an estimated 1.3, which is
based on
30% increase.
Yeah. So that's using 18 days of May. Okay. Got it. 31% change. Got it. Okay. All right. All right. Very, very cool. So yeah, again, we're basically what you see above is through the end of April and below is just the first 18 days of May. So again, inventory is building. It's funny. That's what I just told you was going to happen.
Yeah.
Now you can see it's actually happening. So again, a lot of folks want to invest in Fresno because that's where I am. Chris, one more time, what are the numbers that they should, let's tell everybody to text you first. What's the number to text you?
Yeah, that's area code 559-593-2987.
And again, Chris is at the hub. If you ever wanted to go to the hub, check it out. He is there. He'll meet you there. He can take you around. Call him, talk about areas, talk about rents, talk about all that stuff. He is an investor. And again, if you want to find a motivated seller who will do seller carries, he is the guy I would call to have those negotiations because he is an investor first. So Chris, any closing thoughts about Fresno or anything else you want to say to our audience?
Not sure. I mean, I born and raised here. I personally love it. Aside from kind of living at the Bay Area, but mostly Fresno. Yeah, it's a great market. Personally, I think it's a great middle-class city. I agree. I feel like in a lot of ways we're kind of an anomaly compared to the rest of California because we are, within 45-minute drive, you're talking 1 million people. But as far as landlord friendliness, much more than Bay Area or LA.
It is a red city in a blue state.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, definitely red.
Definitely red through and through. So folks, again, this is why I've stayed in California is because I'm in Fresno. You got to work with, again, Fresno is a very much a relationship business. Chris has lived there his whole life. It is. I'm so happy to have him at the hub. Go take advantage of this resource I'm giving you. One more time, Chris, what is the phone number? 559-593-2987. Or you can shoot an email to Chris at ibuyhousesfresno.com. Awesome, buddy. Thank you. All right. Thank you.